This is Jared Horak for today's RacingDigest.com. My Today's Racing Digest video series continues Saturday, November 16th, 2019. We're going to head over to Churchill Downs under the Twin Spires. We're going to do the 10th race, the Grade 3 River City Handicap. And they're going to be traveling 1 mile and an eighth on the turf course. The first thing we're going to look at in this race, we're going to pull up the fast figs for the River City Handicap. As you can see, that the par for this race is a 140. Mr. Misunderstood, your money line favorite, he has a 135 fast fig. Admission Office, your second choice, has a 134. Some others with some competitive fast figs. Get Western has a 131. Bemma's Boy has a 130. Emmaus has a 128. So those are the leaders on the fast figs. Now the fast figs for today's Racing Digest, it's a number that it's like a combined speed figure, class figure, all rolled into one performance rating. They've had a lot of success with the fast figs, a profitable category, flat bet wagering, and in exotics as well. If you'd like to learn more about the fast figs, check out the description in this video. I have some links provided that will teach you more about the fast figs. You can also go over to today'sracingdigest.com to learn more and also to purchase the fast figs. If you like them for this River City Handicap card, $3 for the whole card. You can also get the complete digest for this Churchill Downs card for November 16th as well. Right now we're going to pull up the race header. The race header, a lot of good information in the race header as well. It lists the full field with some different speed figures. You'll see the CPR, some class ratings. The CPR is the comprehensive performance rating, which takes into account pace, final time, and closing fraction. That's a pretty good number in turf races because it's almost like a combined tactical speed finishing kick. So horses that have good numbers, and as you'll see, Emmaus has one of the better numbers for the comprehensive performance rating. But now let's look at some other things. The fastest in the stretch, horses that have the best finishing kick. Emmaus has the best finishing kick, 35.5 seconds. Blue Sky Cowboy, a long shot, he has 35.7 seconds, and then Admission Office, 35.8 seconds. Looking at the pace ratings in this race, Get Western, he's the only entrant in here with 150 or higher pace ratings in this race in his last 6 starts. He had a 155 and a 159. So it looks like Get Western's going to be the one to catch. Emmaus, as one of the better closers, could be the one to hold off in this race. And looking at the fast figs, obviously Mr. Misunderstood, Admission Office look like solid threats as well. So now that we've seen all this information, now let's look at the top 4 contenders in this race. I'll start with my 4th choice, work my way up. My 4th choice in here is going to be number 8, Get Western. He's 5-1 morning line, and I think he is going to be the one to catch in here. He has the best Today's Racing Digest pace ratings. He's going to be out there. There's not a ton of pace in here. I think if they want the lead, it's going to be theirs. The question is going to be the 1 mile and an eighth distance. Is he going to be able to get out there, control the pace, and go 1 mile and an eighth in this graded race? Obviously, he'll be out there. He'll take them as far as he can. Number 4, Mr. Misunderstood, your 5-2 morning line favorite, is going to be my 3rd choice in here. Now, he used to win a lot of races, but recently he hasn't been winning that much. Now, he did win the 2018 edition of the River City Handicap at Churchill Downs, but he hasn't won since. So he's lost his last 4 starts. He's dropped 6 of his last 7 starts now. I like the fact that he can stalk or he can close. So if the pace was quicker, which it probably won't be, he would be further back. So I think he's probably going to be in a stalking position in here. He is 4 for 5 over the turf course at Churchill Downs. But looking at his overall numbers, he doesn't have a huge edge. As I said, he does have a 1-point edge in the fast figs. He looks like a threat in here. He's probably going to take more money than he should, but he certainly could easily finish somewhere in the top 3. My 2nd choice is going to be the 9, Admission Office. This one's 3-1 morning line. He was no threat last time. That was in the Shadwell Turf Mile that was coming off of a layoff. Maybe 1 mile was too short, the layoff too much to overcome, and that was a grade 1 race as well on October 5th. Now, his prior 7 starts, he was right there in the top 3 in all of those races. I picked him on top earlier this year in the Dixie Stakes at Pimlico. Catholic Boy beat him there, but he was really closing at the end, and he ran a quality race. So he's one that I think he could really run a good race in here. He's very consistent. He's going to be coming from off the pace in his 2nd start after a layoff. He did earn an improved number in his 2nd start after a layoff on 3 other occasions. So that's a good sign that as he he was laid off, and he ran well each time after a layoff, but then he did improve his number second after a layoff. So if he can do that again, look out, he could run a good race in here. But for my value top choice, I'm going to go with number 2, Emmaus. He's 5-1 morning line. Now the biggest question for him, kind of like at Western, is going to be the distance. He hasn't run at 1 1/8 miles, but it looks like he's probably going to be a fit class-wise. He finished second in a grade 2 at Woodbine earlier this year. He was in the Woodbine Mile. That was probably a bit short. It was also a grade 1 against that kind of company. Maybe he couldn't quite hang in there. He was running well at 7 furlongs earlier this year. Then they stretched him out to over a route of ground on the turf at 1 1/16 miles on October 18th at Keeneland. He stalked a slow pace. He pulled clear late, and he won that race nicely. Now I like how the race shape of that race at Keeneland. It was an allowance race. It was slow early and fast late. That's exactly what I think is going to happen in here. He's got post 2. He's got some tactical speed. So I think he's going to save the ground, stalking the pace in here. And if he can kick it in like he did when I said he's the fastest in the stretch, 35.5 seconds, I mentioned that earlier. If he can save ground, stalking the pace, and then kick it in like he did last time, going from 1 1/16 miles to 1 1/8 miles, I think he has a good shot in this race. Now here's our wagering strategies for this race. We're going to make a win wager on number 2, Emmaus. We're going to play an exacta box, the 2 Emmaus and the 9 admission office, and then another exacta. We're going to put those two on top, Emmaus and admission office, over top of number 4 and number 8. So if you had $40 to wager in here, this is how I would suggest playing it. You're going to bet $16 of that 40 to win on number 2. And then you're going to have a $6 exacta box, 2-9, and then a $3 exacta, 2-9 with the 4-8. So you're splitting your wagers basically. 40% will go on the win, 60% will go in the exotics. The $16 is the 40%, and then each of those exactas will be $12. The exacta box 2-9 is $12, and then the $3 exacta 2-9 over the 4-8 also costs $12. That adds up to $40. So those are the wagers for this race. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, make some comments in the comments section. Who do you like in the Grade 3 River City Handicap at Churchill Downs on November 16th? You can go over to todaysracingdigest.com to buy the fast figs for this race, the complete digest for Churchill Downs, and also my full card analysis each and every day from Del Mar at todaysracingdigest.com. That will wrap up this week's video. I'll be back next week with another stakes race from around the country.